All right, today we're going to deconstruct a really powerful blueprint that comes to us from Buddhist philosophy. And look, this isn't just about a different way to think. It's actually a practical method for building a resilient, genuinely unshakable system for all those commitments in your life that really truly matter.
So let's just dive right in with a question that, I think we've all faced. You start something new, a project, a practice, maybe a New Year's resolution, and you have all this incredible energy. But then a few weeks, maybe a few months later, it just kind of peters out. It collapses. So what is going on here? Why is it so incredibly hard to stick with the goals that actually mean the most to us?
Well, the text we're digging into today suggests that the answer has nothing to do with willpower or trying to muster up more passion. It's actually about architecture. The core argument is this: if the underlying structure of your belief system isn't stable, then anything you try to build on top of it, well, it's pretty much guaranteed to collapse.
And this system has a name. It's called unshakable faith. But hold on, because this isn't about faith in the way we usually think of it, some vague, fuzzy emotion. No. You should think of it more like an engineered cognitive framework. It's a deliberately built structure, one that's designed to withstand literally any storm.
And that's really the crucial point here. We are talking about a stable, structured system of understanding that you consciously build piece by piece. It's kind of like the difference between a tent that you just throw up in a hurry versus the deep foundation you lay for a skyscraper. One might last you a weekend, sure. The other is built to last for a century.
Okay, so how exactly do you build this uncollapsible structure? Well, according to the text, the whole thing rests on 10 distinct but deeply interconnected pillars. These are basically the load-bearing walls for the entire system.
Together, these 10 core beliefs create what the Source calls the Bodhisattva faith universe. Now, a bodhisattva, to put it simply, is just someone who is completely dedicated to achieving awakening, not just for themselves, but for the benefit of all beings. So this isn't just a list of beliefs, it's a complete, self-reinforcing worldview.
And when you look at this list, you realize it's a complete ecosystem of trust. It's not just about faith in what you might think of as abstract concepts, like Buddhas or the Dharma, which just means the teachings or the natural way things are. But look closer. It includes faith in all sentient beings. That means having a fundamental belief in the potential of every single person, no exceptions. And it even includes faith in your own good deeds, actually trusting that the positive things you do have a real, lasting impact. This is so much more than just a list of beliefs. It's a pretty radical framework for how you interact with the world. But, a strong foundation is pretty useless if you don't actually build anything on it. So how does all this faith get translated into real action? Well, it becomes a dynamic engine for your practice.
Yeah, this whole system of faith, it's not meant to be a comfy chair you just sit in. It's the engine that powers everything you do. It's the fuel that drives your personal growth, that expands your compassion, and that transforms a simple belief into real, undeniable momentum.
And what's amazing is that this worldview starts to reframe everything. Let's take a really simple act, like making an offering. The text is super clear about this. This is not some personal transaction to get something good for yourself. Instead, it's seen as a kind of public service, an education project even. It's designed to inspire other people, to show them what's possible, and to help make sure these valuable teachings can endure.
Okay, so once that engine is really running, it doesn't just change what you do. It starts to fundamentally change how you see. This stable system leads to a really profound, radically different way of perceiving reality itself.
Through this lens, the world isn't seen as a collection of solid, fixed objects anymore. Instead, it's all a dynamic, flowing process. Your actions are like transformations, not permanent stains. Karma isn't some rigid cosmic accounting system, it's more like an illusion. And the results of that karma? They're like a shadow. They're definitely there, but they're not solid.
And the source text just captures this idea so perfectly. It says, all things born of cause and effect are like echoes. Just think about that for a second. It means nothing exists all by itself. Everything we see, everything we experience, is just an echo of all the causes that came before it. It's all interconnected, and it's all impermanent.
And it's because of this view, because a bodhisattva sees this fluid, echo-like nature of reality, that they can act with complete and total freedom. They can perform limitless good deeds with this incredible, boundless generosity precisely because they aren't clinging to the action or the results or trying to get any personal credit for it.
So that's the philosophy.
But what does this ancient architectural plan actually mean for us right here, right now? How can we take this blueprint and use it in our own lives to build something that really, truly lasts?
Well, the source gives us a brilliantly practical guide. Here are 7 principles, basically translated for today. We're talking about things like treating your good deeds not as these one-off transactions, but more like a long-term investment portfolio. Or constantly, and I mean constantly, clarifying your why. Reminding yourself that you're doing this for awakening and to help others. This is exactly how you start laying your own foundation, brick by brick.
And all of this leaves us with a final and I think pretty provocative self-check question. Is your engine running on the right fuel? In any given moment, what is your primary motivation? Is it for personal gain? Or is it for awakening and helping others? Because ultimately, the path you find yourself on is determined by that answer.